I rise to move I am Honorable Zainab Gimba, representing Bama Ngala Kalabalge Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion for the urgent need to address the worsening plight of internally displaced persons and returnees in Bama, Ngala, and Kalabalge areas of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, this House should note that the increasing humanitarian crisis affecting the people of Bama, Ngala, and Kalabalge Federal Constituency of Borno State. Also note that the Boko Haram insurgency precipitated a massive humanitarian tragedy on a scale comparable to the civil war, and this is arguably the worst of any man-made or natural disaster in the history of Nigeria. Further note that the new returnees are largely from the bordering countries of Chad and Cameroon republics. Aware that most of the new returnees and the internally displaced persons have suffered untold hardships getting the basic needs of livelihood like food, shelter, and clothing. Also aware that most of the residents of Bama, Ngala, and Kalabalge Federal Constituency have gone through traumatic experiences which have affected their physical, psychological, emotional, mental, economic, and social well-being. Further aware that humanitarian development partners are reluctant in continuing to offer assistance to the displaced persons and returnees because of the deplorable state of road infrastructure in Maiduguri, Gamboru, Maiduguri, Bama, Banki, and Gamboruran, and believes that if nothing is done to ameliorate the situation, the humanitarian crisis will further worsen with the onset of the rains, which will create a major food shortage for the people. Acknowledge the effort made so far by the Borno State government through support for the security agencies and provision of temporary shelter, foodstuff, medication, clothing, and their basic needs for the affected people. Commend the federal government for setting up the Northeast Development Commission. Concerned that if nothing is done, the humanitarian crisis will further worsen with the coming rain and create a major food shortage for the people. Also concerned that there is currently a total of 773,626 internally displaced persons who have been forced out of their homes and living in shanties all over the constituency. Resolves to urge the federal government to immediately commence infrastructural works in the Bama, Ngala, Kalabalge Federal Constituency of Borno State to enable partners to resume humanitarian services. 2. Also urge the Northeast Development Commission to seek avenues of strategic collaboration with the development partners in the Northeast so that they will continue to provide humanitarian services to the people affected. 3. Further urge the National Emergency Agency, NEMA, to expeditiously provide relief materials for these new returnees and the internally displaced persons. 3. Mandate the Committee on the Internally Displaced Persons, Refugees, and Initiatives on the Northeast Zone and Northeast Development Commission to ensure compliance. I equally urge Mr. Speaker and right honorable colleagues to support this motion, for this motion will go a long way in bringing palliative measures to the people of Bama, Ngala, and Kalabalge. I so submit.